Howdy! Welcome to Rebuilding Hollers, come hell or high waters, for our special feature of the day. My name is Stephanie Johnson, and I'm so excited to be with you this afternoon for our special feature. I have the greatest guest in the world in the studio right now, and I cannot hardly wait to introduce y'all to my friend and distant family. We're pretty sure we're related. Leigh Brown with Patriot Relief. Y'all, she has been incredible. I'm going to bring her on and tell you all about it. But first, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for following along. If you have any questions during the podcast, just type in hashtag rebuilding and Russ will pop that up on the screen so we can answer any questions that you have. And without further ado, Miss Leigh Brown.
And can we all start by saying happy birthday to Stephanie? It's her birthday episode.
Yes.
So every comment needs to say happy birthday to Stephanie because here she is working as usual for Yancey and Mitchell County, birthday or no.
Birthday or no.
I get to be in the studio with you today.
Is this so cool? Do you love it?
I love it
Yeah.
so much. It's
Yeah.
even worse sniffing the mold.
I
But
know.
it's a little mold amongst friends.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. We don't care. We will do whatever it takes to keep talking.
If there's nothing else we've breathed in the last 11 months, it's little mold.
Yeah, it ain't gonna hurt
Little wood
nobody.
shavings, we're good.
Yeah, don't hurt nobody. Don't hurt nobody. I'm so thankful you're here, all the way from Cabarrus County, Harrisburg, North Carolina, my hometown, her hometown. You drove to be here today, and you have drove a lot of days. You've been here in UNC Mitchell and Avery County nonstop this whole time.
Well, this is our people.
This is our
We
people.
don't leave anybody behind.
That's right. Leigh and Patriot Relief, well, before, because Patriot Relief started after the storm.
Yes, in October. So
Yes.
we're 10 months old. The
Yes.
storm's 11 months old.
Yes. And then I think I was after, because it kept taking me longer. You're like, Steph, you gotta
Well, I
do
mean,
it.
to be fair, you were doing about 47 things at the time, and details for the IRS are
Yeah.
not your strong suit.
Yeah, no, I don't care about that mess. So we
But she did follow all the rules, and her banker helped her. So her Rebuilding Hollers is legit,
Yes.
and all donations are tax deductible to the extent allowed by law,
Yes, they are.
including stock.
Appreciated stocks. We can accept those.
But
Yes.
if you donate Cracker Barrel when it went down, that's fine. She can harvest the loss. We'll do that too.
Yes, we will. We'll be glad to help any way that we can because we need you to help us.
Because we use the dollars.
Yes, we do. Every single dollar. We've got incredible projects going. Patriot Relief. I want to talk about in the beginning. So you're my friend way before the storm. We have, so like your uncle and my adopted pawpaw is our beloved Mr. Chris. And so I love that so much. It makes me love you that much more because he was a powerful force in my young life. And I miss him greatly. So
Well,
I
he
just love
was
that.
tighter than Dick's Hat Man too. So he was one of the cheapest individuals you could ever meet. He gave Aunt Nell $20 a week as an allowance from about 1920 until she died in 2002 or 3.
That's
And
crazy.
she used to complain about her $20 a week.
Yeah.
But that was why he had savings, because he didn't spend anything he didn't have to.
Yeah.
So of course you were friends with him.
Yeah.
That's how you treated everything.
Yeah.
You're tight too.
Yeah. Well,
Which
we
your
have
husband's
to.
grateful for.
Yeah, my poor husband. Yeah, he bless his heart. But yeah, that was it's incredible how,
It's fun.
when we think about what God's done and how he has set all of this up into motion.
And we didn't know why.
We had no idea.
Mhm.
And it's set for us. I mean, you went to high school with my husband. Like our relationship is long term. And a matter of
And
fact,
we've done real estate together
Yes.
for a long time.
yeah, you taught me how to get on the computer and make videos.
And look how comfortable she is.
I'm
now.
so comfortable.
I'm so proud.
I know, because you taught me. You give the best conferences. I love coming to your conferences. That's where I first saw you at. Was an Asheville conference.
Was it
I
really?
was, yeah, like in 2012, probably 2012, 2013. I was like, I know her. Oh my gosh. And it's just been buddies ever since, which has been powerful because right after the storm, you were just saying, you got mad at me because I wasn't answering.
I was so mad because I was like, she could be dead. And literally, we had so many hundreds of people that were gone. If somebody didn't respond, that your immediate thought was, what happened to them? And I knew she lived up here on the Tow River. Burnsville had been devastated. Yancey County was closed at the borders. But of course, the cell towers were down.
Everything was down.
But it was that morning, I'm texting all my realtor friends in these different counties. And of course, you're my girl in Yancey and Mitchell County.
Yeah.
So we have our little text thread of the realtors, and then they start to pop up. Lori popped up over in Eddyville, and then Star was good in Burke County.
Yeah.
And we hear from Randall, and Buncombe County, and we're starting to hear from our people. And then here's Stephanie over here, and also she had a droid, which is probably part of her problem.
I love that thing.
Barely raise you up, and then finally she surfaces, and I can breathe again.
Yes, but you had already started. So I was, working through first digging out, getting to town, and then figuring out like, okay, this is not good. When I get to town, I'm like, oh, this is not good.
It's a war zone.
It was a war zone, and immediately I'm like, okay, I got to do something. Like that was immediate. And so finally I had this Facebook signal, just barely any signal. And I get a live out and I'm telling people we're alive, but we're not okay. And you were in the comments, Steph, I'm sending you trucks. I've got trucks ready to go. And the next day, Dawn White.
Love Dawn and
Yes.
Leo. Shout out to one of our favorite mortgage lenders.
Yes.
Because again, it's how the real estate community, we catch a lot of crap online, but our people will do literally anything for their communities.
Yes.
And Dawn and Leo loaded up, and
They were here.
They might have come around a couple of roadblocks to get to you because they knew that Stephanie and the people mattered more than the roadblock.
Yeah, they were here. They were here that very next morning. I think it was like day 4 or 5. It was, I think day 4 after the storm, maybe 5. But right after my first day really in the parking lot, they were there with the trailer and we were giving stuff out. And that was so magical. So thank you. And thank Dawn.
And thank you to all the donors too
Yes.
who sent money to me so that I could send stuff to Stephanie, because we found out very quickly nobody trusted the Red Cross, and nobody for a good reason. But
They weren't here.
Nobody trusted any of the organizations, but they're donating to individuals, and we just sent it right back out.
You did. You were here.
Because why grift when people donate? We use it correctly.
Yes.
Shocking.
Yeah. Well, you got to. It's got to be right. And this is our home. This is our community. And this is our, as realtors, homes are our specialty. Families are our passion. And when they're hurting, it matters just as much as when they're in their happy zone.
It even matters more.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened in the mountains. People have been clinging to their property with everything they have, living in campers and tents and under carports because they don't want to leave. And so when the government tells you just go an hour and a half away, just go to Hickory, go to Statesville, go somewhere else and treat people like they're pawns in a game.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how emotional real estate is. And I think that's the hardest thing for the rest of the world to understand about realtors. We get it. And we want you to cling to your property.
Yes, we do.
And so we want to find a way to support people staying where they are.
Yes.
But not being harmed in the process.
That's right. And that's very powerful.
And plus, because I knew you, I could trust you.
Yeah.
Of course, you tell me what your needs are.
And you had it.
Them.
And you've not stopped the whole time. You have sponsored, let's see, you've got project number 8, project number 9, project number 12 drilling their well.
Yeah, shout out to all my donors because we're paying for wells and septic systems everywhere we can. So Stephanie has homeowners that she's working on their rebuild. If my dollars can do the well and septic, then we can be a quick part of the recovery because that's public health and safety.
It is.
Let's be honest, some of the people that we're helping will move in without well and septic, and we don't really want that. So we would like them to not have to use buckets and bottled water.
No, we don't want them using buckets and bottled water. They've
And
got to be, they are. Some of the places when I go, once folks sign up here at Rebuilding Hollers and we go out to visit with them and understand their needs better, it's devastating. I leave crying all the time. I cry. I don't even wear makeup anymore because I'm just over it.
See, and I wish I still cried because I quit crying.
Yeah.
I've seen so much, and you feel so much for people who have been through everything that you just absorb it nonstop. Yeah. But it's also what keeps us going.
Right.
Well, and there's people that haven't.
You're at mad levels though too. You're mad.
I'm mad all the time.
Yeah. This has gotten crazy. How many people have let us down? How many? How hard we're working for pennies just so we can keep people moving forward.
And then we have I know that some of our politicians mean well, so please don't take this as any ugly statement because Stephanie's not responsible for her guests, and I guess I should have my own disclaimer. My donors aren't responsible for me either, but some of our elected officials have been absolutely amazing in helping, and other ones just want the spotlight. They don't want to do anything, and it's the most infuriating thing ever to have all the talk or the pointing. At some point, stop pointing and just do.
Yes.
And I think that's why we've experienced a disconnect we've experienced with some of our neighbors. Their trust level is at below 0.
Below.
They know us, but they don't trust the other players because they've not been trustworthy the whole time.
Well, they have failed us.
Right.
The state and federal has
just
failed
freaking
us.
write checks.
Yeah.
That's all we
We
want.
need your money. And did you know that we didn't qualify for the state grant?
Did you find out why?
Yeah.
Did they give you a rejection?
Yeah, we didn't qualify because we were too new.
Oh, of course,
We were
because how dare
too
you be
new.
formed after a storm
Yes.
that devastated your whole county.
Yes. And because we are also providing assistance to small businesses.
How dare you do that? Because we're helping small businesses too.
I love my small businesses.
I was sure glad to get the contractor back in business that we sponsor because we need him in business to help rebuild the area.
That's right. Well, and one of my favorite restaurants in downtown Spruce Pine was totally annihilated. Took them 11 months to build back. And what that has brought back to downtown Spruce Pine is magical.
It's hope.
It's hope. It's giving people the strength to keep going. And now we can, that brings people back to town.
And we need the tourist dollars.
We gotta have the tourism. So, I mean, it's powerful. Our small businesses matter so much. I mean, it's family. If you're gonna help the family, then you help the family business.
Well, what's interesting too, a lot of them are qualified for SBA loans, the Small Business Administration, but they don't want debt. I wish as a society we would find a way to support people who don't want to be under a mountain of debt.
Yes.
And so if we can help them with a boost here and a boost there, there's a lady we've helped, she does the herbs and the natural foraging. She teaches classes for people who want to know how to do their own natural medicines and not have to rely on big pharma. Of course I want to support her because first of all, I want to take her class when she's reopened, but I love that kind of a business because that's generational knowledge from the mountains.
Yes, it
And
is.
if we don't protect her, we lose the knowledge. That's so important to the community. And she gets to help people who don't have access to the medical system.
Right.
So you start, like you said, the scaling out,
Yeah.
how big it can be. I love supporting her. And she's actually reopening. She had put her shop in her home. She's reopening in downtown Burnsville.
That's exciting.
So
Oh, I
exciting.
can't wait.
We're going to go to her class because we're
I'm
going to
in.
forage because I should know that anyway.
Yeah, me too. All I know is that Mullen helps
I
significantly.
use Mullen for my plantar fasciitis. You can put the leaf in your shoe and it will fix your foot.
No way.
And so my husband thinks I'm lying about this. He's wrong because
Yeah, he is.
I'm a runner and it fixed my foot. We have mullein grows by my house.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's the best plant ever. Don't ingest it, but you can make a poultice out of it for
No, I heard
respiratory
you can
issues.
breathe it. Yeah, you can smoke it.
You can smoke it. You can. I'm the wholesome one in this friendship. But but actually, the smoking saved you from getting into fist fights. So
Yeah.
we're grateful that you're
It's fine. Nobody's worried about that.
I'd be more worried if you didn't have to take a smoke break that
Right,
night because that man was out of line. That's a different conversation. So
I've had to. Some people don't realize I have physically had to fight pretty much. I mean,
well, you are the black sheep, but
Well,
you know what? Jesus said you'd leave the 99 for the one.
Yeah.
I think you're the one.
Yeah,
So here
he
we are.
has. He's led it. And as long as I'm fighting for my community, I don't mind to take a felony for them. Although I haven't had to yet.
No,
I've been
she didn't
saving
mean
it
that.
my whole
Internet,
life.
she didn't mean that. Please put in the comments that we don't want Stephanie to have any felonies. Please encourage her better behavior
No,
for
so
her
good.
husband's sake. We get a comment that says, Stephanie, please show some mercy
I've
on
been good.
Tyler.
No, I've been so good. I've been so good. And God has given me the peace to do that because, I am a redhead and I am a little crazy about my community.
But you know what? If you didn't have that extra edge,
Yes.
you wouldn't have been able to go this far
No,
so
no,
little because you've worked on a shoestring.
Yeah.
And you've spent all your dollars on
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
So if you're actually in Yancey County, need a realtor, you should call Stephanie because it's easier for her to fund her projects if you're using her as your realtor. There's the shameless plug that she never remembers to make.
Yeah, but it's working. I have 3 listing appointments this week.
Yay!
I know. I am working. I've got deals going. Got another closing coming up. So yeah, it's working really good.
That's a little breathing room for your birthday.
Yeah.
So for her birthday, somebody tell her you want to buy or sell in the mountains in the next 12 months. Because if you're the person watching this that has always dreamed of a mountain place, come be a part of the rebuild by purchasing up here.
Yeah.
I mean, don't steal it from a generational homeowner. That's different. But if you're the person who says, I'm ready, then why not? I love our North Carolina mountains.
Oh, it's incredible. And it's still so, the way that the rivers flow, there's so many properties that are okay. We had a lot of destruction, a lot of damage, but we still have some places that's incredible. It's beautiful.
Well, I wish that was a better part of the story too, because it's really hard when we're doing relief work. You have to tell people how bad it's been because you have to understand the depth of what you never saw in the news, what you never saw in the media. And frankly, all the photos and video we can make don't tell the story of coming up to visit, which is why I was so glad that you did your fundraiser live and went Jeep into the Hollers so people could see it.
Yeah.
But then you also have to remember that as much darkness as there is, there's a lot of light. And frankly, I've talked to a lot of homeowners who their property was fine and they have survivor guilt from it.
Yes.
They feel guilty that their house is okay. But by the same token, people's lives still move. And so for every business that's up here and every homeowner, property owner, realtor, you should know that everything is not a war zone. There are still areas that need a lot of help and assistance, but it's definitely both sides.
Yes.
And we got to make sure we're encouraging people in both ways.
Yeah. We even have some locals that are like, because their path doesn't take them through the devastation,
Oh, they don't know.
they forget or they don't know.
Well, like downtown Asheville people,
Yeah.
they think everything's fine.
Right. And then you get on the other side of town, and it's like, holy cow. I mean, it is, Pensacola, Cattail Creek, my favorite place in the world. And of course, down the Tow River Valley, it's like bombs went off. But then, Green Mountain, Double Island, there's a lot of places. It's totally fine.
But speaking of Green Mountain, that was heavily hit.
Yes.
And there were a lot of blockades to keep people from going up there because it was so bad. The water was a mess. And we just talked to a fellow from there who's making his application to get his house rebuilt because his house is gone.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting a house done in Green Mountain here. Once we get him a yes, he's going to get a yes.
He's going to yes. So speaking of that, let's talk about Renew NC. So Patriot Relief is our connection to Renew NC, which I think could be a powerful process to getting us the money we need because we're so tiny and we have a lot of homes that need to be rebuilt. So we want our neighbors to go after this money.
Yes, get the available HUD dollars. So President Trump sent the money from the federal government to the state of North Carolina. Governor Stein put together a new committee with a new program name. So this is not the same group that handled the terribly mishandled hurricanes down at the coast where people are still waiting on their housing. They reorganized the whole program to help Western North Carolina and they called it Renew NC. And so this is the state funded program. There's money there and it came from the feds and the state has it and the state is distributing it. So what we also want you to understand is that for anybody that gets wound up about politics, because I get wound up about politics myself, this is the moment where you can say, President Trump sent it and Governor Stein is distributing it. So if either one of them points fingers at the other ones, just ignore it for a second because the dollars are in Raleigh.
Yes.
So if you are a homeowner who's watching this because you love Stephanie and you trust Stephanie, we're here to tell you the dollars are real and the program is real and all you have to do is apply for it. And our goal is if you can apply for the state money and get it for your house, then the dollars we have, we can use for the people who aren't approved because not everybody's going to be approved through the program. As we all know, there's restrictions for income. There's going to be this rule and that rule, and there's going to be red tape, and people may have some gaps in their record keeping. And Stephanie and I are small enough as organizations, we can work with you on that, and the state may or may not be able to, but apply for the money because you can get a whole house rebuilt.
Yes.
So here's what I want you to know. There's 4 things that can happen in the Renew NC program, and the website is renewnc.org, RENEWNC.org. The first thing that could happen is your house could be repaired. So if you've been living in your house and you took in some water, you've got mold that's growing in, and you've said, I'm fine, other people need help more than me, please just remember that you've got to take the help. We don't want you living with repairs that you think are too small. There is help available. So that's number 1. You could get your repairs. And by the way, super proud that the state has made a big effort to get our general contractors doing the work who are North Carolina, Western North Carolina contractors. And so the dollars that are being sent from Raleigh are being spent with your local contractors to repair your house. And so that's a boost to the economy too. Big, big win. That's number 1. You can get your repairs. Number 2, if your repairs are more than $50,000, and let's just say your foundation took trouble because that's where the big dollars will come in. You had water come in, knocked your house 1/4 of an inch off a foundation because I worked with one homeowner. That's as far off their house got sent. You might think it's just 1/4 of an inch. Like, yeah. That's your corners, your doors, your windows, your walls. That's mold and moisture and a whole host of issues, and it can be fixed. But if it's over $50,000, you may be eligible to have the house replaced. And when they replace your house, the coolest thing is they're not just going to say, you get this little cookie cutter house. You're going to get a selection of floor plans so you can make sure it fits your lot, fits your life. And we want you to also be thinking too, though, if you apply and get this option, don't go for just the biggest house available, because I want you to remember you got to heat it and cool it and pay property taxes. So you've got to be super smart all the way through. But that's number two. You may get your house replaced. Number three, if you rent a single wide or a double wide, a mobile home, that can be replaced. And the reason those get replaced instead of repaired is quite often the cost of the repairs exceeds a certain percentage of the amount of a new property. So you take the new one. And if Stephanie and I can tell you anything, it is that if you want to sell that trailer house one day, if it is too old, it won't qualify for financing for your buyer. So if you can get a new one, that's going to help you 10 years and 20 years down the road when the day comes that you decide to sell it or you want to gift it to your brands.
Yes.
And then the fourth thing that could happen is if you did all your repairs yourself and you wiped out your retirement account, wiped out your savings, and did your repairs, you may be eligible for reimbursement. Again, no promises, but you can apply for reimbursement. And there are some people already getting a yes on that, a yes on that, a yes on that, and a yes on that. We are talking to them every day. This is good. Now, remember, it's income limited. So if you are super duper wealthy, we love you. Send your dollars to Stephanie or send them to me. That's fine too. But you're probably not going to qualify for renewnc.org. But if you have a grandma, somebody that's on fixed income, somebody that's sitting below the poverty line, they've been working their whole life at an hourly job and they just don't make a heck ton of money, they may be qualified. And this may be their chance to get made right. So it's so big, y'all. Renewnc.org. They are going to ask you for all the same paperwork you've given to every other grant you've applied for, your license and your firstborn and your deed and utility bills and all this stuff. You already have it. We know this. You're going to get a caseworker that talks to you. Our caseworkers, a lot of them were hired here in Western North Carolina. So we have a lot of people who are thoughtful and patient, which I'm very grateful for. But if you talk to somebody who's not thoughtful and patient, you should let us know because we're delighted to bring that to their attention that they should become a little more graceful in their bedside manner.
Yes.
And we'll work with you on this process, but we're your contact. The reason Patriot Relief is involved is that Raleigh understands that there's a trust gap. And they, in Raleigh, at North Carolina state government, do want Western North Carolina rebuilt. They do, and they're partnering with us to help us find you, which is why Stephanie was the first person I called literally 1 hour after we got the phone call that I'm involved. I'm crying, I'm hollering, I'm calling Stephanie. She's on her way to a wedding, graduation weekend. And I'm like, this is happening. And of course, her walls are up. Like, is that real? What is this?
The government.
What's going on? And so, of course, we have to ask all the questions, but it's real. And this is so big, y'all. This is our chance to get Western North Carolina not just patched up, but made whole. And that's the whole reason we've stayed in this the whole time. So anyway, there's a long renew and see thing, but I can't stress it enough. If you have had a house with any damage and you have gone into the financial hole, please apply and see if we can't get you back out of the hole, because the people in Western North Carolina have been through so much. There's no reason they should be financially paying for a storm they didn't create for the rest of their lives.
That's right. And I talked to Pisgah Legal earlier in the week.
They've been doing so much work.
So much.
Yay, Pisgah Legal.
Yes.
High five.
Yes. Well, Max had filled out an application, and he did bring up that it is overwhelming in the beginning. You feel like they ask for all the things.
Because they do.
But he said he was able to upload what he had for that property owner. And then by the next morning when the case manager called, the case manager had went and gotten a lot of stuff. So that's pretty exciting.
They're really working hard to be thoughtful.
Yes.
And if you get overwhelmed and you start an application and you throw your hands up and say, screw it, I can't deal with this, the caseworkers are going to see that partial application. They're going to reach out and they're probably going to say, hey, friend, I saw that you started an application. Let me help you. And I will just tell you, those are not scammers. These are not a Nigerian prince trying to get into your bank account. These are Western North Carolina 90% of them, caseworkers who are in that job strictly to help you get your application processed. These are good people. I can tell you that. They're working so hard to make sure we get to the people. And that's our challenge, Stephanie. We got to find the people.
Yeah. And we have them. We have them. I know we have them. I did tell her, I'm sorry, I can't give you my project list, but I will get it in front of them.
Right.
I want people to
have the option.
To have the option and to know, yes, it's taken 11 months. Yes, they've been slow like turtles, but they're coming.
And how crazy. This is the fastest money ever for a disaster, which is a whole different thing. Y'all, the average amount of time it takes for these dollars to come out prior to Helene was 438 days. So they've got our money out months faster than normal, which is a sad state.
Do you think it's because they all left us after the election? I mean, I know we shouldn't talk about all that, but
I don't know. But I was just listening to some pretty terrible pollsters out there. But you know what? They're only focused on their next steps on the political ladder. If you're listening to that crap, you got to ignore that and say, all right, for whatever reason, the money did show up here faster, but 11 months is not fast. However, we're coming up on winter. Yeah. I mean, Mount Mitchell was 39 degrees yesterday.
I was wearing a hoodie this morning.
It felt great. But it's also a reminder that if your friends, neighbors, your pastors have been the worst, by the way, at applying for help. I mean, would y'all please tell your preachers to reach out, because they're so busy worried about the flock, they forget the shepherd needs a jacket too. And so we've got to make sure that people know with winter's coming, let's get you applied, let's get you helped before all the leaves are off the trees and you're sitting there going, oh no, because then it's going to be hard for our contractors to get in.
Right,
too.
Yeah. And if any foundation work, it's not happening in the winter.
No, but it can't happen in the spring either when the rains come. So come on, y'all, please apply.
Yes.
Tell a friend.
Now, and you are already, because you're right. I was like, holy.
You were hilarious. I was like, where is my Stephanie? She was so grumpy.
I'm so protective.
She's so not trusting of even somebody she's.
No, I did. I was like, well, Lee's going to check it out. I know you're going to check it out.
And I've been very skeptical. I've may have spiced back one too many times with the people in charge where they don't trust me to make videos and won't let me do a press release, but whatever.
But then they also go, nobody will give us a chance. Well, because we are just.
They said I'm a partisan, and so I can't make statements. I'm like, have you paid attention? I might be a partisan, but that's not how I lead every conversation.
Right.
That's what y'all do. That's a different conversation.
We're
legit. We want the people, and we don't care how you vote. We don't care who you sleep with. We don't care what your language is. We just want you to apply if you're a North Carolina resident.
Yes. We got to get everybody help. And so you have been able, we got our first comment from Miss Brenda. I just passed info onto town sites on posted people.
Thank you, Brenda.
Help. I am on so many Facebook pages and chat groups from the beginning trying to help.
High five, Brenda. You're our favorite. You get a gold star. And with hashtag Brenda's amazing, hashtag rebuilding. All right. So y'all, everybody be like Brenda. Actually, that's our new hashtag.
Be like Brenda.
Because legit, if you start posting this in the Facebook groups, the towns, the Friends of Swananoa kind of pages, we can reach people.
Yes.
And by the way, Asheville has their own bucket of money. So renewNC.org is for the not Asheville areas. Okay. Because y'all know Asheville is very special. So they're working their own thing, but we're helping everybody else, especially WAMI, because these smaller counties do have to work together because the WAMI people are the best love bugs. We talk about crying together. I cried with those ladies. They're amazing.
They are.
But they're
maxed out really there.
No, I was hugging on some other lady. She's newer, but she's a housing lady.
Oh.
She just took over their house.
Darlene doesn't really like to hug, but she'll hug me because I make them.
I don't allow anybody to not hug me. If you're in reach, you're getting
a hug.
And by the way, you have to hug somebody for 10 seconds before their endorphins release.
Yes.
I told Dwayne that, and he didn't want to hear about it because he's not really a hugger, except that
he's like a side hug.
He is now. But he watched the church insurance video that says you shouldn't hug people, and that's a whole different conversation. The church insurance video is not good for people like me.
We like to hug. Yeah, we like to hug. It's a real hug. Well, we got to. And in that, we're protective. We want people to be okay. And so you are having, what really helped me get through the hump is you have had some success. You've got not just the guy in Green Mountain getting ready to get a home.
We got a lady in Avery County that yesterday, today is today? Today's Thursday. It was Tuesday. I got her call. And we were crying together on the phone because she didn't want to apply because she was worried about her daughter who had lost a tiny house, but the tiny house didn't have insurance. And so Patriot Relief helped with that one because it didn't qualify. And I said, come on now, let's go on and apply. And she applied and she couldn't believe it because they're single wide. Like the doorknob was gone because of the way the storm hit the house. So they're working in a house with a hole in the door. And I'm like, can we please replace your doorknob? And she's like, it's fine, we'll handle it ourselves. And I'm like, please stop trying to do everything yourself. We love you so much. And so we were able to help her daughter. And then suddenly she's gotten this gift. And now she's over the moon because the way she looks at it, someday something's going to happen and she'll pass to her great reward. And so will her husband. Well, now her kids have a family home place. Yes. Because so many of the houses, it can hold up, you know, because a single wide over time, it just deteriorates.
And she's not being replaced with a single wide. She's getting a stick-built
She's getting a stick-built house. And we talked about it. They gave her the option of stick-built or single wide. So we reached out to the county to verify property taxes because I told her, I'm like, you need to make sure you can afford to not lose this house to property taxes because taxation is theft. But as long as we're dealing with property taxes, we want to make sure people are being really thoughtful. And so if you're the person whose house has been damaged and your stress level is still here because every time it rains, you come unglued, and every time you hear the wind, you come unglued, you're not the only one. You can call me, you can call Stephanie. We will help you think through all of these implications, but we want you to be good with your decision. This is so important that, you know, like, we're your neighbors and we want you to get help, but we're going to hug on you. We're going to pray with you, and we're going to make sure you're thinking about all the things because we're not the ones who are working out of a cubicle in Raleigh and just signing papers and never going to come hang out.
We're here. I'm coming to see you. I'm on jobs all the time. This morning I was on a job for my birthday. We were at 118 digging the foundation. I know, I'm so excited about that one. We didn't hit a water line, but it's fine. Joe will be there in the morning.
Please call 811 before you dig.
No, we didn't. We weren't even supposed to be there. The lines were clearly marked. It's over here. And this one was just a straight line. And oops, it's fine. I knew what to do. I always find the cutoffs beforehand. I have a plan. I always have a plan. Even though I don't know I have a plan, I have a plan. It shows up.
I mean, you know,
right on time.
Just keep rolling. That's what we do.
So I got it turned off. It's fine. Joe will be there tomorrow. He'll fix it. And then we pour concrete on Tuesday.
Yay.
I know. I'm so
excited. The weather is so perfect for getting footings in and getting driveways fixed because it's been dry now for about 4 days. So it's starting to dry up.
It's really awesome. Well, concrete will go in next week, and then we're hoping to be setting our house the following week. I'm freaking out. And that homeowner, because she was talking again about winter coming, and I think I'm going to have this ready for winter. And I said, oh, friend, you're going to be home for winter. Don't forget, this is going to happen very fast. So sometimes. Now, with a lot of my projects, it's been slow, and then it hits, and it's go, and we're making great progress. I mean, it's incredible. And a lot of it has been because of you. You have come, you've been with me the whole time, but you've come and you've said, Steph, what about this? What can I do with this? What can I do with this? And I'm so thankful for that because it has really allowed me to hear everyone's needs and to react, to get them what they need.
Well, and when I had a donor who said, I want to do wells, obviously I can come to you and say, do you need some wells? And you said, I can use some well money.
I can use some wells.
And so what we're able to do is she can evaluate the homeowner and the job site, get me an invoice from the well company. My donor is paying for it. And so that really leaves her dollars up to do other things like grading and framing and projects, because none of us need to do this by ourselves.
No,
this has to be a group effort, and so many organizations are still up here working. A lot of your small grassroots people have not given up. A lot of your other ones have. They were here for a moment, and we're grateful for what they did while they were here, but they've moved along, and that's okay too. So you have to ask questions. So if you're watching this and you're a donor, you should always ask questions before you send a check and say, what are you doing with my dollars? Because we'll both gladly show you all the receipts for what we're doing. Hey,
and we'll take you there.
There's a comment. I need my glasses back.
Yes, that's our friend.
Thanks for all you're doing. It says guest. Hey, guest.
Sean, yes.
Please ask everyone to like and share to get the word out. Yes, please do that. Please like and share. Be like Sean. Now it's going to be like Sean.
Yes.
We have Brenda and Sean. I see people daily say Western North Carolina is owned and back to normal. It's not. But that's true, Sean, because you think about it, the media did move on. They moved on to other disasters, and then they moved on. Texas. That was just awful to see.
Yes.
And I was actually really grateful that a lot of our search and rescue teams were able to get there so quickly to help out because they knew. But Western North Carolina is going to have gaps for a long time, and you have to remember. If I can remind y'all of anything, wherever you are, you're watching this. Please remember that whatever county you're in. The area that was affected by Helene is the size of Massachusetts. It is a huge geographic area. And in that geographic area, we have different levels of local government helpfulness and different levels of understanding of whose needs to serve. And I know my heart is primarily with generational people who are living in inherited homes. They're in a single wide that their grandma paid for in the 60s, and they've been living there, and they're good. They didn't have bills prior to the storm, and now suddenly everything is upside down. And it's not that I don't value the second home people, because they bring a lot of dollars to the area. They spend money here. They're very nice houses. But if you're looking at the news and all you see are the pretty houses, just remember that there's often some houses that don't get on film where wonderful neighbors live, because home means different things to different people. And that's why we can't forget Western North Carolina, because we have people who don't want to ask for help, but if we can give them a little quiet help to get them back up and running, they don't have to leave the place where they've called home all these years.
Forever.
Especially as we come back into apple season and tree season. Well, leaf and then tree. And so you've got all our seasons coming in. So as you drive in, don't turn your nose up at somebody that you think is less than. I really do get mad about how some of our neighbors are talked about by some of the relief crowds, and it's not Christian, it's not good.
But God knows, and that's how I keep through it.
But y'all can, you got to share the information, like it, and let people know that if you want to invest dollars coming up here at Christmas time, do your year-end giving. You could do year-end giving to Rebuilding Hollers, and you'll be doing footings, and you'll be doing framing, and you can do your dollars to Patriot Relief, and we'll be doing other houses, because we actually are about to get a house started here shortly if we can ever get the land settled, because the land moved. And there's all these layers that you won't see in the news because it's too complicated for today's journalists. But just know that when Stephanie and I are working with the homeowner, we're going to make sure the land is straight. We're going to make sure the survey is correct. We're going to pull the permits that are necessary to protect the neighbor who's getting put back in their house.
And a lot of the things we're working on, when we talk about generational living and generational property, that's a big deal. A lot of ours don't qualify for help because of the generational status. So grandma owned the land, grandma has went to glory, but they never processed the estate. Or like some of mine, we had our project, she was very sick. So she went ahead and deeded everything on to her heirs, and then was on the property and lost everything in the storm. But now it's technically a second property to the heirs and not her primary. So she didn't qualify for help. So there's so many different elements that also are disrupting people getting help.
I have already decided that I would never want to be an estate lawyer in the mountains because it's so complicated. We helped this one lady who her single wide was destroyed, and we were trying to figure out how to get her some help. And so who owned this property? Well, her ex-boyfriend's grandmother did. And I was like, well, how are you still living here? And she's like, well, the grandmother gave it to the ex-boyfriend, and she moved in with the ex-boyfriend. And when they broke up, he left and said she could have the trailer. And so I was like, there's zero connection for you to this through blood or through paperwork or nothing.
But mountain folk love mountain
But
folk.
she said the fella down the hill will vouch for me. And I was like, all right. So we went to the fella down the hill and we asked him. He's like, oh yeah, this is how it went. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
So we were able to get her some help. But when you have that going on, FEMA has no way to understand this. There is no bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. that can get their mind around that remotely. And then in Raleigh, even less chance, because I think most of them are, 23 years old, just out of college, bless their sweet hearts, and they don't know either.
No.
but it takes a relationship to know it and to get the help. And so that's what we're going to keep doing.
That's right. We're just going to keep doing whatever it takes.
But seriously, I don't want to be the state lawyer. And again, high five Pisgah Legal, because I know y'all have seen crazier stuff.
They are. They're killing it.
And here y'all are still helping people. Like, you don't even judge. So high five Pisgah Legal for not judging.
Look, Max got on here, sat in that chair when someone, and he gets somebody on with FEMA that he don't like, he just hangs up on them and then calls them back. And he says, you just hang up and then you call back, you'll get somebody else.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I know, but he's so straight-laced, so
now,
gentle,
I don't hang
so
up.
kind.
I just go and pretend my signal went out, and that way they don't have to know.
Yeah.
They just think I'm in the mountains.
Yeah, no, not Max. He just click. And so he got huge gold stars for that because
definitely
that's what it takes. But because, it's been so hard. So let's talk about Thursday, September the 4th. We are going to have a day of help here at Rebuilding Hollers.
Exciting.
I'm so excited about that. So we will have Patriot Relief here with new Renew NC caseworkers. So you can come to Rebuilding Hollers. You don't have to do this alone. Come to the Hollers.
And if you don't go to the website, this is your best answer. Come talk to a human.
Yeah.
They will sit there and go through the whole thing with you.
Yes.
You don't have to log in. And I don't trust the internet either sometimes.
Yeah, me neither.
They don't know how long it took us to set this feed up today.
No, they don't.
We persevered for y'all. But
Yes.
September 4th, come here and talk to a human. You'll get a hug and a bite to eat and get your paperwork done.
I got to tell you, since you said about the internet, so my grandma Mary, who I adore, she's been to glory a long time, but she said when the internet first came out, you remember like early 90s, right?
Yes.
And so she says, now, Steffi, you're not on that intranet, are you? And I said, what do you mean, Grandma? She goes, look, you just need to stay off that thing. I heard people are getting killed out there on the
If
intraweb.
only Grandma Mary knew how bad it has
Oh,
gotten.
God. But I think she thought it was like the interstate. I don't know.
mean,
You know what I mean? Because she was in
it
her.
kind of is.
Yeah.
And she really understood it.
She
better than
did.
most.
You stay off that intraweb. That's dangerous, and I just don't want you on that. People are getting killed.
Well, I say we're on the Facebook. Somebody laughed at me the other day for putting the and I'm like, well, I go to the Walmart. Why don't I get on the Facebook?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same because we're country and we don't care.
No, we really don't. We're also of a certain age, and
Yes.
so
We really don't care. And our like we have Southern twang because we're Southern.
no, we don't. Other people have their own accent.
Yes, but so I have mixed my Harrisburg Southern twang accent with the mountain accent.
Two different accents entirely.
And now it's like Southern mountain twang. It's a whole hot mess. And so as I'm trying to write, which I haven't told everybody yet. So
I guess you should. Where's your picture? You gonna show them a sneak peek?
I don't know. Should I tell them it's my birthday? Not many are on. I can tell them. So as I'm writing my book, I'm so excited. It's
going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. I'm writing a book. I'm telling the whole story, but I'm like, how do I capture these words, right? Because when you type it out, I'm like, well, you think they'll hear my accent?
Yes, because when you do the audible version, you'll have to get Russ and get the microphone and record it yourself.
Yes.
You don't use those AI people because AI is a tool of Satan, just so y'all know.
Yes, it is. I think maybe I'll have you do it because you have really good twang.
But then they'll think I wrote it, and I'll be reading it and be like, what? And I would probably call you out during your book, to be fair. I may have tried to get her on several different news shows after that whole situation in the Roses parking lot, but she was holding off to tell the story herself.
No, I was so upset. That was hard. Y'all, after what happened with the Jambalaya Pirates, I called Leigh.
I like that name. You hadn't told me that version of the name before.
That's
I like
what the
it.
name is.
I have told friends in other states, though, what I've learned from you, because one thing you should know about us is that we might bury the hatchet, but we know exactly where we buried it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And so anytime, really, you were the only person that I called. There was one day shortly after that with the Jambalaya Pirates. I said, Leigh, I can't do this. This is insane.
I was worried about you. I was trying to get you to come to my house and you wouldn't leave the mountains.
It was so bad. And we have been through so much. But to now, 11 months later, we're almost at a year. We've got great things going. A lot of projects going, and we're still doing it together.
Yes, we are.
And I'm so proud of us. And I'm proud of Cabarrus County and Harrisburg too, because so many people from
our
there,
area jumped up.
They did. They showed up and showed out.
And I found out how many people in my church know you because
Yeah.
they were commenting on the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do y'all know each other? We're like, all the reasons.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. They're like, but do you know that Stephanie? She crazy.
I'm like, yes, she is.
Yes.
That's my friend.
That's why I like her. But we're good crazy together.
Yes.
And
it
takes crazy passion to do what we're doing. To say, no, I'm not going to leave them behind. It's really what it's been like for me, is making sure no one is left behind. When I look my neighbors in the eye and I see the broken spirit, I can't move on from that. I have to go stand right there next to them and make sure they're getting what they need. And you have done that with me, and I'm just so thankful.
Well, the Bible says come alongside.
Yeah.
And so we come alongside each other. But I'll tell you what my builder, Austin, said to me a long time ago. So Austin cropped up during the first of the storm, and my videos were running viral. Your stuff was running around. People were looking for a resource. Austin and I got to be friends, and he's basically like a brother to me now. And we were trying to get a house going, and I was fretting because I wanted to do the same thing for everybody. I was like, how do I get $50 million so I can solve every problem myself? And what Austin said is, you do for one what you wish you could do for all. And so we started when we were building our temporary tractor sheds, making sure they were as tight as they could be, including the lady who was working with me at the time wanted to make them personalized, which was a great idea and a great touch, so that we could make people feel very seen, very loved, and very appreciated. And then that's scalable, and that's what we're still doing right now. And it's what you're doing, Stephanie. Like the lady that we're going to get her house done, we're getting in the ballpark, getting all the pieces together, because we want her to get what she wants, not what somebody else says she ought to have.
That's right.
And that's different. And then eventually we will get to other people, but this is why we are looking for dollars. I mean, we want to make sure that the people get the money, not an agency or an overhead or marketing or any of the little hands that get into the bucket. And we want the neighbors to be prayed over and hugged over, because when you look at somebody, you see in their face where the overwhelm is crazy. Yes. And so for those of y'all that are not from this area or haven't been up here, it's a look that is pretty haunting, because it's a lot that a lot of people haven't had time to process, because when the storm happened, it's how do I survive? And then it's how do I go to work, because I have to keep surviving. And they haven't had a minute to sit down and be like, well, let's process Hurricane Helene. That doesn't happen when you're a working person. And everybody that my organization has come into contact with, we ask them if we can pray with them. And all but one have said yes.
Yeah.
And the one lady who said no, we did go ahead and pray for her after she walked off, because she was in need of prayer, even though she didn't admit it. And so the rest of them, though, that's what they wanted more than anything. More than house, more than money, more than water and stuff. It's pray with me. Give me that strength. Give me that peace. And I think that's also the beauty of us being the small North Carolina girls.
Yeah.
That's who they get. You're not getting some call center somewhere or somebody building a resume. You get
someone coming from other places. You know, we've got people that are up here that came after the storm from other states. They don't know us. They don't know our community. And what are their intentions?
Well, some of them did good work. Some of them partnered and came alongside us and said, how do I help? So we give them all the praise. Yeah. The ones who swooped in to tell us how to do things, not really our cup of tea.
Yeah. And make things difficult. Like I have some now that are really making stuff difficult. They're so, it's just been hard. It's just been hard.
I hate to say it because it's going to sound terrible, but we're like cockroaches. We were here before they got here.
Yeah,
we'll be here
when they're gone. And don't mess with my people because I'm crazy. Oh, I'm so protective. But I just want to see it. You know, all the money that comes in has got to go to the property owners.
What did happen to the concert for the Carolinas money?
So actually,
did you get some details?
We got some money from that.
You did?
Yes. So Evelyn Charities was one of 4. So
I'm so glad.
Some of it went. Yes, some went to Evelyn. Some went to it's one of the food banks.
Manna.
I
love Manna.
Yes, so went to Manna.
High five to Manna for feeding so many people across Western North Carolina.
And Manna partners with the Reconciliation House, which is local. So some came in that way, but Evelyn Charities stood with us like 3 weeks ago and gave us $100,000.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a lot of
yes. And so, they said pick 6. So I had to pick 6 projects. So that went to number 8, number 12, number 68, number 78, and number 118. And so we were able to get that and put it exactly where they needed it.
So there you go, Brenda. There's something else you can answer when you see people online saying, where'd the money go? You can say, we know at least a portion of it came to Rebuilding Hollers and also to Manna. So those are two really good places.
We're really excited about that. Very thankful for that because it came in and right back out it went.
Exactly.
And I also like to say to folks, when you're thinking about donating and looking to where to put your dollars, you're always welcome to come here. Leigh has projects going on. She'll be able to keep you posted what they're doing. You can always come to Rebuilding Hollers. I will put you in the Hummer and I will take you to all the projects. We have so many going, but I think it's important for people to see where their money is going.
I think so too. And also, if you got a church group that wants to do a mission trip, we can plug you in pretty much any time of the year because there's always somebody that needs help. And if you've got a men's group that has chainsaws and backhoes and y'all are looking for some fun on a weekend, we can show you how to have fun with backhoes, excavators, and chainsaws anytime you want. And so reach out to either of our organizations. We can always find a project because there's always somebody who would rather do the work themselves. And maybe your group comes alongside the homeowner through an introduction and y'all can all be besties and take care of things together.
That has happened so many times.
I know, I love it.
I do too. So many groups come up and they go meet a homeowner, and they just love them. And they stay with them the whole time. Last week we had an incredible group. 2 weeks ago, we had a group from Ohio on Project 9 doing some framing. I got a text from Scott this morning. He's like, how are they? How's it going? We're coming back in October now. We can't stop thinking about y'all. And that's what it's about.
It is.
You know,
there's no better way. I mean, frankly, what if you're a homeschooling family who happens to watch this?
Yeah.
This is a great way to show your kids what giving back looks like. And you could get them some construction skills in the meantime. So we sponsored a summer camp with Kingdom Overflow Ministries out of Boone in July. And it was a construction skills camp. And I wish to heavens this had been available when we were kids.
Yes.
But they did the camp for 14 to 18-year-olds and built a tiny house and showed them how to do the wiring and the framing and the roofing and all these pieces. And a couple of those kids, they were like, I think I want to be in construction because they got to hands-on see what it looks like. And then we've been partnering with Western Piedmont Community College. They've been helping us build a lot of projects out. Eric over there, head of the construction program, is amazing. And so Eric can talk to these kids from the camp, plug them into community college, into construction trades, and then they've got a career path and a way to give back, and everybody wins. And there's so many of these everybody wins stories that I love it.
Well, let me tell you about, so we're partnered with the Mountain Heritage High School. I call them my Cougar Carpenters.
Oh, this is our project that's getting really close.
Yes, we're so close to coming out. So one of our little buddies, Andrew, he was a senior last year, built the house. He has been on project number 9, building the frame for like 2 weeks. When 118 gets set, he will now be part of the crew that's completing it.
Oh,
I know. I love it so much. And so that's what we want to see. And that ultimately is the mission for me, or the appointment for Rebuilding Hollers when I'm done, because I do not want to do this forever. So my timeline is 5 years and I'm a year into 5 years. Everything at the end will be to Mountain Heritage. And hopefully by then we'll have a construction technology program at Mitchell as well.
Oh, that'd be great.
And so I'm looking to be able to fund both of those programs. Let's keep it tight, keep our kids moving in trade-specific programs. Right now at Mountain Heritage, they're teaching carpentry, they're teaching heavy equipment.
So good.
People they're graduating with their OSHA 1030 certification. And electrical and plumbing is getting ready to come in.
If we can get them jobs,
Yes.
good paying jobs, they could be entrepreneurs. There's opportunity.
Yeah,
and that's what it can look like
I
after
know.
a storm.
I know. I'm so excited. So we've got incredible things going on here. It's really quite amazing. So what a great day it's been with you. I'm so thankful.
And happy birthday! Thank you for letting me come be on your podcast for your birthday.
Thank you.
And if y'all want to do something huge for Stephanie's birthday, then tell all your friends and neighbors about renewinc.org, and then tell the people with money to give to Rebuilding Hollers, and on their gift it could say, "Happy birthday, Stephanie," and then she will just be so tickled to death to receive your dollars.
Because then I can start paying.
Because my sparkling water's from Wegmans, I think that Wegmans ought to make a gift too, because you just got accidental brand placement.
Yes.
That was like Seinfeld used to do that,
Yes.
stick a product on the show. So Wegmans, send some money over our way.
Yes. And Sundrop sends some Sundrop because y'all know that's what's in the cup.
I mean, she's better off with cheer wine. I mean, which is out of Salisbury, but we'll give Sundrop too. But
I got to have the Sundrop. I love the cheer wine, but it's a little bubbly.
On behalf of Patriot Relief, we are proud to partner with Rebuilding Hollers on as many projects as we can. My donors are so glad to know that their dollars are being used well in your project, just like they're used well in mine. And so I'm so proud of you for sticking in there through all of the stress and trauma you were putting yourself through. And by the way, I'm proud of you too for taking a couple of days off to go to the beach a couple weeks ago because you desperately needed to breathe. So I'm proud of you, honey.
Well, thank you. I'm so thankful for you. I'm thankful. I'm sorry I scared you in the beginning with being MIA. I was MIA for everybody. Apparently there was a search party on the way to find me. But I was living my best life in the apocalypse. I didn't know. I didn't know how bad it was until we got out of the holler.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, I could have buzzed you on the walkie-talkie, except that we're not on the same frequency, and I'm not allowed to use a ham radio. I'm an unlicensed ham person, so you can't use it. You can only listen with a friend, and you weren't on there, so.
And we're getting better. We're getting better at all of
I'll be a licensed ham operator before the next storm hits.
That's incredible.
On the path.
Yeah, before the aliens invade next month, because you know that's on the way.
I don't think it's going to be the aliens.
I don't either. No, I know that's.
I think Jesus is going to come and they're going to blame it on the aliens because all these little non-believers out there don't understand that Jesus ain't playing. And so if you don't know him, you should get to know him right quick. And we can introduce you. I mean, we're his favorites, but you could be his second favorite.
Yeah. I'm nowhere near as good as her. I can't quote the Bible. Except for be still and know that I'm God.
You don't even listen to that one though.
No, I do. I really do. God worked on that for years, believe it or not.
No, I think that you just need a little Matthew 10:16.
Okay.
Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove.
Yeah.
And that should be everybody's hurricane relief attitude. Be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, because that allows you to get great things done like you're doing.
That's how I feel. It's been, and I have a calmness, believe it or not, that
I do believe.
I don't
because I've seen you when you're not calm.
Yeah. It's different. God is in control. But I agree. I mean, and my church is the Toe River. My church are the mountains. My church are the people. And what I've seen God do for them and for us and for these mountains, it's so powerful to me. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of what God has done. And I love telling everybody that. Matter of fact, when the devil was attacking your phone, I was just singing to glory.
We won. We won, by the way. We
did.
Overcame the devil's attack on, didn't want our channels to connect.
Yeah.
Because they knew we would have too many of y'all out there that would help us by sharing, liking, and commenting so that we can beat the algorithms and reach the people. The reason we want to beat the algorithms is to reach the people. So if you know anybody in the Helene affected counties, please share this episode so they can get some information. They can then call us. They can hit the website or come out on September 4th and get information face to face. We are here. We want you to be made whole. That's everything that we're doing. So just let us know how we can help, because we will.
Yeah, it's all that matters to us. I'm so excited about it. So is there anything else you would like to tell everybody before we head on out for the day?
No, thank you. Thank you for letting me come be on your show and your
Thank
birthday.
Thank you for being here. I'm so thankful. And I want to thank everybody so much for joining us today. This is our special feature podcast with my special guest and friend, Leigh Brown. Patriot Relief has been amazing. Just remember that we got one more comment. This is Michelle Sigmund. She's incredible.
Oh, hey, Michelle Sigmund. She follows my page.
I adore her. Both of you ladies have done so much for our mountain friends. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle.
It's our pleasure, Michelle.
It's so powerful. I got to tell you real quick. I know we're tapping out, but I got to tell you about Michelle, because Michelle is from UNC County.
Okay.
And she grew up, her family grew up on the road I currently live on.
Oh.
And so because remember we were talking, I've been standoffish, right? Like I don't know you, and because there's been so many con artists. Michelle, she made the connection of look, Steph, I'm from there, but I'm not there now, but I'm from there. She has come beside me in the most incredible ways.
Thank you, Michelle, because you know she needs people to come alongside.
I do, and she prays, and she's just incredible. I adore Michelle. I'm so thankful for her. So y'all, we have a great event coming up September the 4th with our Rebuilding Hollers Day of Hope. So you're going to have renewNC.org. Patriot Relief will be here getting you signed up. Please come fill out an application. Pisgah Legal will be here answering any questions that you have. They will stand beside you while you're fighting your FEMA cases, while you are fighting the insurance battles. any kind of estate stuff, they are here. They want to help you as well. And they're winning money.
Yes.
They're getting people money. So make sure you have them standing with you. Go after this money. It's your money. We just got to get it. And then we will also have Hope for NC here. And they offer us emotional support.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so thankful for that. My friend Sheila, she'll text me and she'll say, "You okay?" And I'm like, "No." So please come by. And DT's doesn't know it yet, but DT's is going to cater it. I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I've already been there. You know, they just opened yesterday. I had breakfast yesterday.